Oh my gosh. Hey guys, you guys are my friends because if you're watching this, we're friends. Let me just start over. I'm getting excited. It's me, Macy. I haven't really spoken to you guys in a while. I know it doesn't seem like it because you probably forgot that this channel existed. I think about it every day, and every day I think, I'm not vlogging today. I'm not going to pick up the camera today. I'm not feeling very inspired. It is getting very foggy in here. It's a beautiful rainy day. I had a great morning. I'm going to insert some clips now. I feel like now is a good time before we really just jump into me yapping for a long time. But here's this beautiful morning I had with my sister. I guess afternoon. It's a beautiful shop. It's called the Steel Yard Coffee Company, connected to Birds Gotta Fly Vintage, and it is just breathtakingly beautiful. I literally walk in and I'm like it takes my breath. Like I'm like, what? I can't even touch anything. I can't look. I mean, I have to look, but like tears are forming in my eyes. It is the most beautiful place near me ever. And if I could live anywhere, I would live there. I'm not really sure what to do about this gloomy, foggy thing, but it is just kind of the weather. So let me insert that clip. You'll get in the vibe of my headspace where I'm at right now, which is not gloom necessarily, but just a little bit more relaxed, more somber, ready to discuss. Okay? So let me play those clips. Stop talking. It's not performative. Welcome back. Let's turn my car. Because I hope you can't hear any of that, but it's just a little bit humid, and it's making my screen all humid. I don't know, it's kind of stressing me out. And the reason why the quality is a little bit worse is because I'm using my front camera. Sometimes I'll use my back camera for actually all the vlogs I do. I use my back camera, so let me show you what that looks like, just so you get like a picture of maybe what I look like, because right now I feel like this is a little bit like ingenuine. This is actually what I look like. Have you been catfished? Would you say like you've been catfished? Wow, it's like my eyes are watering. It's the sudden change of humidity in my car. If you were looking at me in person with your full eyeball, then you would see this. But because I like to pretend like I'm talking to somebody, I'm gonna flip it around, and I don't know, it just helps me get in the zone of yapping. So now that I've catfished you pretty good, let's just get into it. I feel like just chatting and just like kind of reintroducing myself, because I really have not, like I said, have not spoken on this channel in a while. Even though I did post 2 weeks ago, it feels like forever and I feel like a different person. This is a nice vanilla latte, by the way. It is delicious. Let's see. Hopefully this feels informal and just like you're my friend, because you are my friend. Chances are, if you're watching this, the statistics are high that we know each other already. So bet we're besties in real life. And if we're not besties in real life and you're watching this, you already made it to the top tier list. Like, this is a big deal for me that you're here. So like, comment, subscribe, and we will be best friends forever. You're invited to the wedding. What wedding, you ask? That's a great question. Not gonna happen. But actually, while we're on the topic of relationships, let me tell you about this book I've been reading. I'm recently single. Yay! It's so good for me. God's got big plans. But I am kind of struggling to figure out, this is very vulnerable, but also we're friends, so it's fine. But I'm kind of struggling to figure out how to be single. Like, I was really good at it, I can't lie. My senior year memory verse, or like motto, I guess, was 1 Corinthians 7 by Paul, which, if y'all know Paul, allegedly, I just found this out, he might have been married before, and then maybe once turning Christian got left, or maybe widowed. Can you be widowed as a boy? I don't know. And then he wasn't married again, and he said, do not get married, it's distracting, focus on the Lord. And I was like, that's a great motto senior year. That was the year that I talked to the most boys, though, so I was not super obedient in that, but that was my motto. So I just think it's really funny to think about, because I used to be, I guess even then I wasn't really good at being single then, if I'm thinking about it, really. Oh, it got real dark. Basically, I was pretty good, moderately good at being single all throughout high school, because I just like, I feel like guys were just kind of weird. I know guys were just really weird, and I just, I didn't rock with it. If I'm being completely honest, I didn't trust them. I didn't like them. I didn't like who my friends turned into when they started talking to them. And I just like, I'd rather just be. I really just didn't think boys were necessary, and I thought that they were kind of just too much to handle for the perks, I guess. So I just didn't really talk to a lot of guys at all, and that was my motto for senior year. I'd rather you stay single. Basically, the gist was stay single, stay focused. I don't know. I was just kind of like, and that's when I met a lot of people, and I feel like I don't know. I had a relationship. I knew how to do that. I figured out how to do that. Let me rephrase, because I always struggled with like commitment. I would label it as commitment issues, but I stopped claiming that for myself. Like I have commitment issues. I feel like I just have a high level of discernment and a way of just knowing when something's off and why waste my time, why waste your time. So I don't really find it as an issue now. I actually think it's a big blessing of I can save future Macy by my feeling now, but also don't make rash decisions, blah blah blah. I've learned a lot around that, but I figured out how to do a relationship after that of like, okay, I can like unguard my heart a little bit. It's guarded, it's protected for sure, there's boundaries in place, but I can let one person in and focus on God. And I figured out kind of how to have that balance, and I feel like I got pretty good at that balance. But now that I'm not in a relationship, I feel like my heart has been like open the floodgates of like, all right, who is it? This is kind of crazy. It's like everybody and their mama. And then I feel like I had to keep tabs on everybody and like, okay, they looked at me weird. What does that mean? Or, oh, like I just had to analyze everything and figure it out, which first of all, I know that is none of my business. God is such a good God, and he knows that I don't really need to be super observant for my husband to slap me in the face. Bruh. That's not what I mean. Like his presence to slap me in the face of like, whoa, that's the one. You know what I mean? That it sounded. I don't want my husband to slap me in my face. So if you're interested in that, please go the other direction. I worded that weird. Welcome to the club. This is how I speak. But I don't know. I don't really know how to word that. But I pray every day. God, make it so obvious in any decision, not just a husband. That's not the only thing I pray about. That's not my only calling. It's not going to fulfill my life. My husband isn't Jesus, and he's not here right now, and I'm okay with that. But praying, whenever it comes to mind, Lord, please let it be so obvious that my stupid self can't misplace this for anything. Like, it's just so abundantly clear that this is from God, and this is something I should pursue. When I pray that, he has been faithful, and this is abundantly clear, follow this path. This is abundantly clear, the path is over, go somewhere else. So I feel like that is very interesting. But yeah, as I said, now I'm single, I feel very like open and impressionable to all. And so I'm trying to figure out how to really do this whole being alone thing and being guarded, but not being like spiky guarded where I'm like, leave me alone, but like smooth and protected guarded of like, there is a wall there and there is like a shield, but it's not impenetrable. It's like if you are being told by God and if you're pursuing God, then you're welcome to join me. But it's just an interesting, like, it's like in my head I want like a slippery, see, this is where my words get confusing, but just hang with me. I want like a slippery wall, like a smooth wall that's so slippery you can't climb it, but it has to be opened by something supernatural. So I don't know if that imagery makes sense, but in my head I'm thinking I'm gonna live my life, I want it to be smooth and not like focus on everything else, and not like aggressive and spiky and like all men are bad, like leave me alone, but smooth and like poised and mature and sister basically to all except for the one that God opens the door to. So I just kind of want to be in that smooth walled space, defended but not defenseless. Like, wait, that's literally, bruh, I thought I did something there. I thought I literally just said the thing. I just need a break. Hold on, give me a second. This is so embarrassing. Not defenseless, but not defensive, is what I think I wanted to say. I don't really know. Wow, I'm embarrassed, but we're friends, so it's fine. But basically, that's where I'm at, is like, how do I be single? How do I focus on myself, but not ignore the people around me and not miss signs? God is so good that I could never mess up his plan, so grateful for that. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this the most efficient and the best way for me so that I can grow, learn, and be the best wife, friend, sister as I can be. So that's where I'm at now. So I got this book. Read that title and weep. It says Love, Sex, and Dating by Andy Stanley. Holy cow. It's fire. It's not aesthetic. The cover is embarrassing. I did read this in the cafe, the trapeze we went on earlier. Is that the word for it? Trapeze? there's a word, like a adventure, but it's not trapeze. Trapeze is in the circus. I read this in the cafe, and I feel like if I can do that, read this in public, I can do anything. I can talk about anything. So I feel very comfortable sharing this on the internet with my friends, but realistically probably not only my friends yet, but if you subscribe, we will be friends forever. Again, reiterating, please hang out with me forever. Is that too much? That might be too much. All right. Sorry. I won't say anymore. Just first of all, just get this book cuz I'm like, oof, ooh, that is good. That is like life-changing information. Also, a lot of it is stuff you probably already know, but it's just good to have it on writing and like be like, that's good words for it, I guess. I'm very hypocritical of relationships in general, and just like, you have to get me through the death of my parents and the birth of my children. So I feel like I'm not being picky enough. But also, there's a side of it that like we're all human beings. What do I do with that? And so he talks about the right person and how that's a myth. There is no right person that's going to change you and save the day and whatever, but you have to become who the right person is looking for. I don't really know how he worded it. You're gonna have to read this, but it's really good. And basically, I'm halfway through, so if I have a little bit of misinformation, I'll update you in the next video. Again, another reason to I said I wouldn't say anymore, but I will keep you in the loop if you hang around for a while. He uses a lot of stories, and he's just a very good like nonfiction writer, because I usually don't like self-help or nonfiction because it's just so like Facebook millennial one-liners, and I don't love that. Sometimes I can get behind a one-liner, but if it's all one-liners, I just like, I don't like it. Like what I tried to do earlier, it's like defenseless but defended. That irks me, and I did it to myself. So you can only imagine what my response is to other people. Yikes. But yeah, it's there is some one-liners in here, but it's well surrounded by stories and just funny little ways that he writes. So I say it's a pretty good one if you are looking to get into the self-help type of space. He is a pastor, so I will give that disclaimer. If you're not Christian, you can totally still read this, because it's very vaguely talking about God, which I don't know if that's, no, it is talking about God if you are looking for it, but it's like a parable where there's like a deeper meaning if you look for it, but if there's not a deeper meaning, you can apply it to your life. Anyone, if you're Christian or not. And I'd say I strongly recommend this. And also, it references like a letter by Paul, which Paul is the GOAT of writing. He's just so funny. I love him so much. And so it uses like 1 Corinthians, which you've probably heard, 13, I think, which is like, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast. Yeah, all those things. You've heard that before, but it like goes in depth about that, and it's like, it debunks what fake Christianity is, basically. Like, this is the real thing. This is the real deal, and I love it. So, I think you should read it if you aren't Christian, but it does dabble in Christian morality and stuff like that, which I think is really awesome. It just talks about falling in love is easy. It requires a pulse, but staying in love requires more. The divorce rate is so high, but there is more that is required to stay married forever and be in love forever. And that is like a present in love, is like being currently, presently deciding to be in love. And love isn't a feeling, it's like a verb, I think. Basically just talks about how you can execute love in relationships and out of relationships. And then the first little couple chapters are about you and like focusing on you, like the right person myth. There is no right person, but if you run into the right person, hypothetically, would they want to date you? One of my friends, she is fascinating. She's such a good teacher and mentor. It is incredible to watch her. But we did camps together, and she had her girls in high school write out everything they want in their future husband, which I have a list of this. I do. And I have high standards, I'd say, but my list is pretty generic. A lot of people check those boxes, so maybe I should be more specific, but also I want to give free reign for God to do whatever he wants to do, because he knows up here and in here much better than I do. But basically, she had her high school girls, which I highly recommend, even if you're not in high school, whatever age you are, probably unmarried, preferably unmarried, because otherwise that would be quite an awkward confrontation to figure it out. But, or you could just write about what your husband is like, but what your future husband is like. And so just write out the traits. I have an example. I can't help it, but here's my list for an example if you want to make your own list. Basically, the gist was he has to like kids, like animals, be good with my family, be a good leader, love Jesus so much, put Jesus above me. I'll just insert a picture of what it is, and if you meet the requirements, hit my line. Just kidding, don't hit my line, I'm not ready for that. Here's some ideas. Okay, slay editing Macy. Love you, girl. You're doing amazing. Aww. Okay, did she say love you too? I hope she did. because I'm just her biggest fan. Also her biggest enemy because I'd be saying, hey, put this in here. Hey, say this. Hey, do that. So sorry about that, but I appreciate you and everything you do, girl. Behind the scenes, yes. Make that list, my friend. This isn't even in the book. This is just my friend's genius. And she said, awesome, great job, let's share. Cool. Now put your name instead of my husband is. Say, Macy is, for example, and do all those things and say, is there anything that you're lacking? If there is, focus on that first. Genius! Genius! She's gonna be such a good, she wants to be a teacher, a kindergarten teacher. Genius! I don't know about kindergarten age level of that level of genius. I don't know if they can handle it, but wow, I was like in awe. I literally jaw dropped like, wow, I need to do that. So I looked over my list. Am I all these things? Yes. Maybe not all of them, but now I know what to focus on. So let me find exactly how he words it, but it goes along with this idea that Andy Stanley says of become the person you're looking for is looking for. Whoa, that is a loaded sentence. Let me break it down for you. Become the person you're looking for, the ideal, the full list, the check the boxes, that person is looking for. So what would they be looking for in a wife? What would my perfect man be looking for? Because that's the important thing. It's like, what competition am I for the rest of the female class for this guy, which I basically wrote him out, the perfect ideal qualities in this man. He's going to be a hot commodity. People are going to want to be with this guy too because he's so awesome. And he's going to be more because God's involved. Hello, he is a way better author than I am. So people are going to want to get with him. So what makes me stand out, basically? What makes me a contender for this man? Disclaimer, neither me or Andy are saying that you should improve yourself for a man or a woman, but it should naturally come with the territory of self-improvement. Now, this is when you start thinking over your list, and you're like, where should I improve myself at? And that's why I say I'm not ready for my husband yet, because my husband's going to be awesome. And I'm awesome, kind of, but I'm not at that level yet. But super, super cool and interesting. And he said, let's use this analogy, he said, well, nobody else is working on themselves the way I'm working on myself, so nobody's gonna find blah, 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 blah. And he said, well, what people do you make eye contact with on the toll road? Usually the people going the same direction as you, the people next to you. You're like, oh, hello. Or like at a red light, like, oh, what's up? Those are the people you notice because you're going the same way. But you're going too fast this way, two different directions. You're not really going to make eye contact with them. So that's probably why you haven't found somebody who's working on themselves with the same, like, audacity. That's not the right word. That's just a word circling in my head. That's a different vlog, different episode. That takes a whole new level of, like, determination that they're also going that same direction with the same speed and the same, for lack of better words. And you're going to notice them more if they're in the same lane as you, or like same direction, you know? So I thought that was interesting of like, okay, maybe I'm not noticing the top quality man because I'm not really going in the top quality woman direction right now, which I don't think that's necessarily true, but it's good to think about. Guys, my storage is going down by the second. This is not going good, but I'll kind of hopefully wrap it up soon. I don't know if I can. Like, this is so fun for me to talk about, but just get the book, basically, is what I'm saying. But it's basically, it says people don't change people, which is like, duh, of course people know that, but apparently not everybody knows that, because you cannot change a person the direction that they're going. People don't change people. People have to feel like they're sick of themselves and they're sick of who they are, and what is coming next is more appetizing or like desirable. Oh my gosh, there's so many alarms going off on my phone. This is just, there's a lot going on. I'm sorry. But yeah, super interesting stuff. Super interesting stuff. And I think you should definitely buy it. And I feel like it's helping me see that there's not like, you don't just sit when you're single and just stay. There's like an active movement. There's always going to be movement and change and growth in you, especially when you're single. But also when you're married or dating or anything like that, you should also be growing and moving together. So this tells you how to do things by yourself, and then also do things with the other person, like grow with the other person. Like, you're going to have those tough conversations. You're going to have to be patient, be kind. What does that actually mean? What does that look like? It's so good. So I would buy it, and also please buy me new storage while you're at it, because I like to talk and my phone does not like to listen. So I hope you do. I hope you have more patience than my phone. But I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with me and just chatting in my car. These are like some of my favorite videos to film because I literally am like, you're my best friend. and I just want to chat. So, thanks for being my best friend, my stand-in best friend, because I'm probably not your best friend, but you're mine right now. So I appreciate you. Aww. Love you guys. I'll see you next time.